I'm Dan Morehouse, and I'm the Community Outreach Specialist for the Drug Enforcement Administration's Phoenix Division. I'm here to talk to you today about the history of Red Ribbon Week. Welcome, everyone. Today we kick off Red Ribbon Week, a time each year when millions of people across the country pledge to live drug-free lives. You might have seen people wearing a red ribbon. That ribbon is the symbol of this campaign. Red Ribbon Week is all about staying safe and healthy by avoiding drugs. It started to honor a hero who gave his life fighting illegal drugs, and now it's the biggest drug prevention event in the nation. During October 23rd to 31st each year, schools and communities everywhere hold activities to celebrate living drug-free. I'm excited to share with you the story behind Red Ribbon Week and why it's so important for all of us. Let me introduce you to the man who inspired Red Ribbon Week, Enrique Kiki Camarena. Kiki was born in Mexicali, Mexico in 1947 and moved with his family to Calexico, California when he was a child. Growing up, he was dedicated to serving others. He joined the Marines, then worked as a firefighter and a police officer in his community. But Kiki wanted to do even more to keep people safe. In 1974, he became a DEA Special Agent. His job was to go after illegal drug dealers. Eventually, the DEA sent him to Mexico, where he bravely worked to bust some of the country's biggest drug cartels. Kiki was passionate about protecting people from the harm of drugs. He even told his mom, "Even if I'm only one person, I can make a difference." He truly believed in making a positive change. Kiki Camarena's courageous work tragically cost him his life. In February 1985, as he left the U.S. consulate in Guadalajara, he was abducted by 5 men working for the drug cartel. After being held and tortured, Kiki was killed, and his body was found about a month later. He was just 37 years old. This was a heartbreaking loss. Kiki had a wife, Mika, and 3 sons. Although outraged and saddened, locals wanted to honor Kiki's sacrifice. In his hometown of Calexico, family, friends, and neighbors started wearing red ribbons as a symbol of remembrance and a pledge to stay drug-free. They formed Camarena clubs and encouraged others to make the same promise. This movement of wearing red ribbons to stand against drug abuse quickly spread from California to the rest of the country. Red Ribbon Week has grown enormously since the 1980s. Every year from October 23rd to 31st, millions of Americans take part in red ribbon events. In fact, over 80 million people wear red ribbons or participate in activities each year to honor Kiki Camarena's memory and to stand up against drugs. When you wear that red ribbon, you're sending a message. You choose to live drug-free, and you appreciate those who work to keep us safe. During this week, schools like ours hold all kinds of events, from assemblies and guest speakers to fun theme days, all focused on making healthy choices and avoiding the dangers of drugs. Communities might host parades, contests, or ceremonies where everyone promises to stay drug-free. The red ribbon has become a powerful symbol of commitment to a drug-free lifestyle. By wearing it, we all show that we refuse to accept drug abuse in our lives and in our community. Red Ribbon Week is our chance to celebrate life and the good decisions that keep us safe. Tech Sergeant Tori Gonzalez will now talk to you about the dangers of fentanyl.
Hi, I'm Tech Sergeant Tori Gonzalez, and I'm with Counter Drug Task Force Drug Demand Reduction and Outreach Team. Our job is to work with local organizations and state and federal agencies to help prevent substance use in our community. Today we're going to be talking to you about Red Ribbon Week and some of the dangers we face today in our community. Here's the truth about fentanyl. Let's start by talking about what fentanyl actually is. Fentanyl is a very potent opioid, much stronger than most prescription painkillers. Just a tiny bit, about 2 milligrams, can shut down a person's respiratory system and stop their breathing. That's equivalent to a few grains of salt. Why is that so dangerous for teens today? Because most people who overdose on fentanyl don't even know they're taking it. Dealers are pressing fentanyl into fake pills that look like real prescription medications, like Xanax, Percocets, and even Adderall and more. And sometimes they make them look colorful like candy. DEA lab testing found that 5 out of 10 pills now contain a potentially deadly dose of fentanyl. That means your odds of surviving are the same as a coin flip if you take a random pill from someone not your doctor or your pharmacy. In 2023, over 107,000 people in the US died from drug overdoses, and nearly 70% of these deaths involved fentanyl or other opioids. Now introduce the new danger, Xylazine, also known as tranq. You may have heard of tranq or the zombie drug in the news. Tranq is short for xylazine, a powerful animal tranquilizer used by veterinarians to calm large animals like horses and cattle. It is not approved for human use. Drug dealers are now mixing xylazine with fentanyl, which makes it even more dangerous. One major problem is that Narcan or naloxone, the medication used to reverse opioid overdoses, does not work on xylazine. That means if someone is overdosing on fentanyl and a tranq combination, it is possible that Narcan may not save their life. Xylazine also causes horrific side effects. It restricts blood flow and causes things like deep open skin ulcers, extreme sedation, slowed breathing and heart rate, and infections that can lead to amputation. The only safe medication is what comes from a doctor or a pharmacy. If someone offers you a pill at school, online, or from a friend, do not take it. You can't taste fentanyl, you can't smell it, but it can kill you in one pill. This isn't about being scared, it's about being smart. The risks today are too high to take. When someone uses drugs or other substances, it triggers a powerful release of dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. This creates an intense rush of pleasure, reinforcing the behavior. Over time, the brain starts to crave that same level of high, and natural sources of dopamine, like normal things you used to do, enjoying sports, music, or hanging out with friends, they don't feel fun anymore. The person begins to chase that artificial high repeatedly, leading to compulsive use. This cycle, using to feel good, then using just to feel normal, is what drives addiction. It's not about willpower, it's about how the brain has rewired to depend on drug for dopamine. Okay, please pause the slide so you can play the come back home video. At times, it can be hard to say no to peer pressure and other influences. You might find yourself in an uncomfortable situation. So think about this. What are some ways you can remove yourself from that situation? One key tip, be confident when saying no. Show it in your body language. Stand tall, keep your head up, and use a strong, clear tone of voice. Another way to handle peer pressure is to redirect the conversation. Suggest healthier alternatives like playing video games, going to the mall, watching a movie, or heading to the park. Sometimes it's as simple as walking away. You can also plan ahead. Work with a parent or guardian to come up with an exit strategy. For example, if you're at a party and feeling uncomfortable, you could text a blue heart emoji to your parent. This could be your signal to them for getting out of the situation, no questions asked. Now think about this. What are some of your goals in the next 5 or 10 years? Picture where you want to be. And once you have those goals in mind, ask yourself, what will it take to achieve them? The decision you make today can shape your future. What does it mean to be resilient? Resiliency is the ability to bounce back from difficult or tough situations. It means staying strong even when things don't go as planned. Take a moment and think, was there a time in your life when you showed resilience? Maybe you overcame a challenge, pushed through something hard, or kept going when it could have been easier to give up. Reflecting on those moments helps us see just how strong we are. Let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever had a conversation with your parents about drugs or alcohol? If so, what prompted it? If not, what's holding you back? Now let's talk about the facts. According to the 2024 Arizona Youth Survey, only 34.1% of students say they have talked to their parents about fentanyl use. While that's nearly double from the 17% in 2022, it still means that majority of students are not having these important conversations. In fact, when we look at the data overall, the average percentage of students not talking to their parents about tobacco, alcohol, marijuana, and prescription drugs is about 70.8%. That means more than 7 out of 10 students are missing out on these potentially life-saving conversations. Why does that matter? Talking with your parents about substance use isn't just about rules or punishment, it's about having the right information to make healthy choices. These conversations give you a chance to hear their perspective, learn from their experiences, and ask questions in a safe place. What's getting in the way? So why aren't these conversations happening more often? A lot of people don't know how to bring it up, or they feel awkward about saying the wrong thing. But here's the thing. You don't have to wait for them to start it. Sometimes it takes you to break the ice and open the door. Your voice matters with friends too. And it's not just about your parents. You also have the power to influence your peers. When you talk openly with friends about substance use, you help create a community that's more aware, more supportive, and better equipped to handle real-life situations. So here's your call to action. This is the challenge. Be the one to start the conversation. Whether it's with you and your parents, a trusted adult, or peers, speak up, share what you've learned, ask questions, and listen to their views. You don't need to have all the answers. Just starting the conversation is a bold and powerful first step. Together, we can build a culture where being informed, speaking up, and choosing healthy is the new normal. Good news, most students your age are not using substances. Arizona does a survey of 8th, 10th, and 12th graders every 2 years called the Arizona Youth Survey. The survey shows that drug use among students in Arizona has gone down compared to the 2 years prior. You can see it in each category: alcohol, vaping, and marijuana use. The bottom line is that most students are not using drugs or alcohol. Over 90% of students reported not drinking alcohol in the past month, not vaping, and not smoking. The vast majority of your peers are choosing to stay drug-free. So if you've committed to not using, you're definitely not alone, and you're with the majority. On the screen, you see the Red Ribbon Week pledge. Let's read the pledge together as a class. I support Red Ribbon Week. I pledge to grow up safe, healthy, and drug-free by understanding the dangers of drug use and abuse, respecting myself and being drug-free, and spreading the word to family and friends about the importance of being healthy and drug-free. Your teacher may have these pledges printed out for you all to sign. On this slide, you will see resources. Please feel free to write these down. Please remember, we are not giving you this information to scare you, but actually to inform and empower you. Life is a puzzle, solve it drug-free.